Hey everyone, this is Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. Meep,
Meep, mer.
rawr. All right, so this week up on the docket, we actually have quite a few things to go over. Pretty
Yeah, I was
exciting.
kind of worried we wouldn't have anything, so I was really excited about that.
Yeah, so the first thing we're going to be going over is going to be the leagues for Trailblazer Reloaded rewards, which are
Yeah,
actually pretty exciting. They're pretty well done. It seems
I
like
like
they
them.
up their rewards game every league.
I'd agree with that for sure.
Yeah, so
Thinking
this
back to
is
like the twisted and stuff.
exactly.
Not
Yeah,
crazy.
so I mean the twisted horns were pretty cool,
That's true, but
but
like
these ones are definitely amped up.
cooler.
Yeah. And then we can go right into the poll 80 changes. So
Mhm.
these are this is of course maybe you forgot because it's been so long, but these are the polls that they're supposed to have every
Has it
month.
been more than 4 to 6 weeks?
Who knows? I think it's been 4 to 6 months. But
Probably.
anyways, we can go over that and then we'll go right into the Scar Essence mine, the
Yes.
very controversial rune rune crafting rework that none of
Yeah.
you knew or wanted.
I'm kind of wondering if tomorrow, whenever we go to record, because we probably won't talk about this part till the second half, I'm wondering if there's going to be like changes to it already.
I don't think so because it's not even it's just more like a discussion. They're not even saying that they're like going to implement it. It kind of just seems
True.
like they're like pitching an idea.
That's true.
But well, you'll see what we're talking about whenever we do go over it. It
Hmm.
does seem fairly interesting, but there is a lot to unpack there. So we'll
Yes.
start off by seeing what's going on with you, Michelle.
Not much. I've still been working on my content wheel, and guess what? She's sponsored again.
Wow. This
Yeah.
episode sponsored by
Brick City. Fudge. I messed it up. Brick City. God.
it just sounds like you're saying the same thing over and over
Okay,
again.
it's called Brick City. It's Brixity. I have it open on OBS right here. But it's just like a little cute building mobile game. It's like a new game, I guess, that just came out a few weeks ago,
Yeah, it's
actually.
a mobile game, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
mobile game, and you just like go and you're building a little city and stuff. And if you get to levels 3 and 6, I get buckaroos, so I'd appreciate it. And you could add stuff to my content wheel. And yeah, it's actually a pretty cute game.
Yeah, the game it's a lot like
Minecraft? No, someone compared it to something.
what?
Someone compared it because you're
Minecraft.
building and there's squares.
Okay, yeah, in that
Hmm.
case it's definitely just like
I've never
Minecraft.
played Minecraft.
Yeah.
Animal
So
Crossing.
okay, yeah, it's a lot like Animal Crossing,
Hmm.
but it has like the aesthetic of like the old brick games. So yeah,
Yeah,
I guess like Minecraft, sure.
exactly.
But anyways, yeah, it's just like a city builder.
Yeah, it's really cute though, and I quite like it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So go check it out. I'll have the link in our bio, whatever episode description. But yeah, so because of that and because of like my last few sponsorships, I've still been working on my content wheel because there's still so much stuff that I need to get done for everyone. But I'm having a hard time focusing on just the content wheel. So I have started going to TOA again because I just want gold. There's no
Yeah.
better way to say it. I'm not making money when I'm doing the content wheel. And while it is fun to mix it up, I also love TOA and I like to make money and it's a good money maker.
Yeah.
But yeah, last night we saw a ward, which was pretty crazy. That's the only purple I've seen this week because I haven't been
Huge.
reading as much.
It's
But
like a
yeah,
million, jillion, billion gold.
we didn't even split it. I didn't even get anything.
Oh wow.
I know, it was brutal. And I was feeling like really like depressed and emo last night too. So it was funny. Whenever I saw the purple chest, I was like, oh, this just cured my depression. And after the word was gone, I was like, uncured.
Yeah. Uncured.
Uncured. Now I'm sadder than I was before.
Just get more purples.
Yeah, easy. But yeah, I've just been working on like various bosses and stuff. I also last night did like some Leviathan, some mole. I am officially twice the drop rate on the Chaos Ellie pet, and I've still not gotten that pet. I hit 600.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Just think about it.
it's an interesting pet to go dry on. Like, it's not the worst for sure.
Every time you think about going dry, just think the percent chance of getting the pet on the first kill is the same as the last kill.
Someone did the math and they said 600 KC. I had like a 13% chance of not getting the pet by then. Something like that.
Yeah, sure.
So I don't know. They also could have been talking about something else I was going dry on. I don't remember. But yeah, just been doing like tons of different stuff, but nothing like really notable, to be honest. And no levels. Classic. Classic.
No levels.
I have been scheduling shorts like a madman though. I've been doing a good job, like doing like 2 to 3 every day. And I think I have them scheduled out for like the next 9 days. So I'm really, really excited about that. Because in a few weeks, we are going out of town for a little bit. It's not going to affect the podcast at all. Because we're
No.
leaving on a Thursday, right? It'll
Yeah,
just be a shorter
Thursday
episode.
night. So yeah, it should be up by then.
Yeah, we'll just only record half on Wednesday and then that's it.
Yeah, it'll be uploaded and scheduled. I don't know if it'll be like fully done yet, but it should be fine.
Yeah, it should be out, so it won't really affect you guys. It just might be a shorter episode. But because of that, I want to make sure that I have like lots of shorts scheduled so then I have stuff whenever I'm gone and then also like whenever I'm back I still have extra. I just want to get like as far ahead as I can. I didn't realize on TikTok you could only schedule 10 days ahead though. So,
Yeah,
I'm going to hit that tomorrow basically. Hopefully, if I keep it up.
cool.
But I'm like really happy and proud of myself about making the shorts and stuff. They haven't been doing the best on YouTube lately, but I feel like it's better to put out something even if I like it, even if other people aren't watching it.
Only 10 million views.
No, some of them are only getting like 100.
Only 100 million. Yeah, that's tough.
I know, only
That's
100
tough.
billion. It's like, why am I
Yeah.
trying?
Oh well, maybe next time. Maybe
Yeah.
next time you get a trillion.
Maybe if I'm lucky. But
But that's it.
that's it. That's I think that's all I've been doing. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'll probably remember later if I am.
Yeah, she'll probably just interrupt me in a minute.
I always do that. How are you?
Pretty good. I have been playing a little bit of Path of Exile. I got
Huey.
a few characters to like higher ish levels, like 80 something and 70 something. For anyone that cares, playing Lightning Arrow and Spark.
Huge.
Yeah, Lightning Arrow, Deadeye, and Spark Inquisitor, obviously.
I mean, what else would you play?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like,
But yeah, so kind of just playing a little bit of that, and I actually have a surprise for Michelle. She doesn't even know this,
oh,
but unlike you, I got a level in RuneScape this
you
week.
logged in?
I mean, I got a level, so
What was the level?
it was 59 agility.
When are you doing agility?
Who knows? Yeah, so
In the morning?
I got 59 agility and almost to 60, and then I get to go to Sears, so that's kind of cool.
Now I want to get a skill up. Why didn't you tell me? I wanted to get a level up too then.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll go to
loser.
Winter Talk tonight.
But yeah, so that's kind of cool. I've just been playing those two games,
I
and
didn't even know you were back on RuneScape, you little demon.
still studying a bunch, so obviously not a lot of time to play.
Yeah.
That being said, there is like a random game that I thought I would mention because it's kind of like a like lesser known game, like not very many people play it at all, but it's actually really fun.
Palia?
No. Although we did log into it's I think it's Palia.
Oh,
But
Palia.
yeah, but that's like a kind of like
That's a cozy game, right?
yeah, like a social MMO,
Mhm.
like the kind of the first of its kind where you kind of just like go around and do quests for people. There is like shooting and stuff like that, but
In Palia?
it's like a bow to hunt. You can hunt.
I downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, and you can
That
capture
sounds-
bugs and stuff like that too.
It sounds so cute. I need to play it.
Yeah, and you get to build your house and stuff like that. I didn't play it too much, but it was pretty fun. It's
Mhm.
just it's clearly like not super finished from
Yeah, it's
my
newer.
experience. So
Since still in beta.
yeah, it's still technically in beta, but yeah, looks pretty cool.
What's the other game?
Oh, the game that I was talking about that is actually pretty fun. It's a shooter game. It's called Polygon.
Polygon. I feel like I've heard you talk about
it's
it.
a lot like BattleBit in a lot of ways.
Oh, okay.
But I like it because they're smaller maps and the gunplay is actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot better than I guess you would imagine. I think only one person is making the game.
Oh,
So that's
like there's not
kind
even
of-
a team?
No, it's just one dude.
That's kind of nuts.
Yeah, so it's definitely lesser known, but that's pretty fun if you like shooting around and it's free, so that's cool too.
Love free games.
Yeah. But
I
besides
thought you were gonna
that-
mention Starfield.
No, I
'Cause
mean
he's been
Starfield's
discussing Starfield a lot.
yeah, Starfield. For anyone that doesn't know, Starfield coming out. It's a new Bethesda title. Same people that
Mhm.
make the Elder Scrolls series, Skyrim, stuff like that. And if you do own Xbox Game Pass, Microsoft Game Pass, then you will get it for free on the day it comes
Mhm.
out. So I'd recommend checking it out. Not because I've played it at all, just because it looks interesting. It might suck, so
Yeah,
this-
Ninja didn't seem as interested whenever you were talking about in Discord.
yeah. I mean, that being
Ninja's one of our
said,
mods.
he's the
He's
one that
sassy.
made you play Skyrim.
True. True.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's kind of fake Ninja.
Yeah,
I mean, Ninja's not even real, so it doesn't matter.
true. But yeah, so that seems like it'll be fun. I haven't played there's other games that have come out, but I haven't played any of them.
Mhm.
So
You played more than I expected, though,
yeah, kind of
given
cool.
how busy you are.
Yeah, exactly. But we can move on to stuff that's actually exciting.
Our
Uh,
lives are exciting. Don't throw us under the bus like that.
Yeah,
Oh
surely.
my god. Also, side note, It's been very hot. This is like the hottest consecutive days we've had this summer. As insane as it sounds, our summer's really just beginning here.
Yeah.
If you hear the fan, I'm sorry. We have it on louder than normal.
Yeah, I think it's around for I think like a lot of our viewers are actually European, so I think it's around like 31 or 32 C.
I don't know. All the Americans like 85 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
sucks.
I think it's either like 29 or I think it's low 30s for
It's like
Celsius.
100 Celsius.
Yeah, 100 Celsius.
Feels like it.
500 Kelvin.
We're melting.
Anyways, Leagues for Trailblazer Reloaded. So this is pretty exciting. They finally go over some of the rewards. A lot of the reasons people play, obviously, is for the rewards. Even though, I mean,
That's why I mostly did it, and then
a
I
lot
just
of
enjoyed it.
yeah, I was about to say a lot of people play just because it's fun.
It is really
kind of like
fun.
how I was last league. I just played it and then was like, all right, cool, that's it, and then I stopped playing.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of the league stuff you can buy, but
Are you gonna? Well, I'll wait to the end. No, I'll just ask now. Do you think you'll play in your hardcore?
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't see
You
why
could
not.
even just become a skiller and
It's
buy all
not
this
like
stuff.
Well, it's not like it matters that I play on my hardcore. It gives you an
But-
entirely different account.
No, but you can't buy this stuff later. Is what I mean. This is your only chance to get all the unique.
Okay. I see what
So
you
I think
mean.
I might actually play it on my GIM as well, even if it's just like me skilling. Well, just because I like
You mean your hardcore?
Yeah.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
about to say
yeah.
your regular GIM.
my hardcore
Alright.
GIM. Even though I haven't been playing it a lot, I think I would definitely want to get any uniques that are only temporary. Because if you don't get them now, you can't get points later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I like them.
That's a pretty good idea. So yeah, make sure if you do want these on like an Iron Man to play on your Iron Man,
Yes.
so that you get the rewards. Anyways, though, speaking of the rewards, we can actually go over them right now. If you missed it, we decided to resurrect the classic league with a fresh lick of paint. Leagues 4 Trailblazer Reloaded.
Woo!
For those unaccustomed, rather, Leagues is a temporary game mode. Blah blah. I think everyone knows what Leagues is. It's a
You
game
start
mode.
in a fake account, basically. It's like a side account of your account.
Yeah, it's a side account. It won't have any effect on your main account. That
Mhm.
being said, I think it's like one of those things where you can't log in to the regular worlds while your character is in Leagues.
You can only be on one. It's kind of like two accounts merged in a way, like DMM is. Like if you're
Oh,
playing
okay.
on DMM, you can't play on your regular account as well, which is kind of frustrating. You can't AFK.
Yeah. So
Which
even
is
though it's
annoying.
like a separate account, it's the same account login
Yeah,
and
it's the
stuff
same
like that.
login, so you can only play on the one login.
Yeah, so make sure to separate your grinds if that's something you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, though, XP rates are going to be increased. Quest unlocks are going to be completely different, so make sure to catch up on that if you don't know what leagues are.
Yeah, we discussed it, I think, in more detail the last couple weeks. But
Yeah.
also a reminder, you're going to be area locked in this league.
Yeah,
so...
I was about to mention that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you weren't going to.
Yeah, so initially you're going to be locked to area locked to Mistlin and Karamja.
Mhm.
So you're going to be starting there, same as normal, but you won't be able to go anywhere else, just those two areas. Where all your journeys begin.
Big Misslin.
Yes, being Mistlin. As before, you'll be able to unlock other areas after completing tasks and accumulating points, but choose wisely. You can only unlock 3. So this will be similar to last league where
Mhm.
you unlock areas, or Trailblazer if you played that, you'll unlock areas, but
Well, the last one you didn't unlock areas, you unlocked other stuff, but 2 ago you did.
oh, you unlocked like boss areas and stuff like that.
Oh, you did unlock bosses, huh?
Yeah.
And skills.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not exactly similar to that,
But points matter.
yeah, points matter.
essentially.
So you're gonna want to do tasks in order to unlock regions,
Mhm.
and then you'll use those regions to unlock more regions. But you can only unlock 3. So
Yeah. We've
yeah,
been talking about in stream. Some people were saying Kandarin, and I was like, "What's in Kandarin?" And people were like making fun of like, "Oh, what's in Kandarin?" And then just like started listing stuff, and I'm like, no one's like, "Wow, I'm gonna go do some content where Kandarin." I'm like, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking of Sears, but I guess like it's like Zora and like Gnome Stronghold. Is Zora over there? I don't know, like Gnome Stronghold and like Zenites and stuff and a bunch of stuff. I didn't think about the gnomes being in Kandarin.
yeah,
So, my bad.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Gnomes suck. So anyways, yeah, so you'll only have 3 areas to unlock, so make sure to think about it, I guess, before you go into it, because if you make the wrong decision and unlock Kandarin and you didn't want to do that, then
Too
you
bad.
can't go back. So
Enjoy Kandarin.
yeah, you're gonna have to get a new account or something like that.
Yeah.
The more regions you have available, the more tasks you'll be able to complete, and the more points you'll be able to get. With those points, you'll be able to spend them on fancy cosmetic rewards that you can purchase for your main game save, and that's exactly what we're talking about today.
Mhm.
So obviously, you're going to want to get as many points as possible if you want the rewards, and also you can get rewards from previous leagues. I don't.
If you played in them only.
Is that true?
Yeah. So basically the way it goes, if you have leftover points from past leagues, you can buy stuff from past leagues. But if you
Oh,
don't, then you can only buy stuff from the new leagues. That's why I'm saying you should play on your iron because this is the only time you can get it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess if you had like a cool teleport home that you wanted, but you didn't get last time, and you're like an iron, then you can save up and get it this time if you really want to.
No,
Uh,
I don't think you could do that.
what do you mean? You just said if you're in the last league.
Oh, if you're in the last league. I
Yeah,
thought
I
you
said
meant
if there was a teleport home
I
that you
thought you
didn't get
meant
last
I
time.
thought you meant save up new points from this. And because you can't use the new points towards that.
You can't?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure you could only use the new points towards the relevant. I could be wrong. That was my
Oh,
understanding of it though, is that it's like if you have leftover points from the last league, you could buy stuff from the last league.
really? I think league points are just league points. Like they're not called Trailblazer points.
Okay, well now I'm not sure. Let's just go over the rewards and I will look it up on my phone real casually.
Okay. Anyways, so we have some returning rewards. So to start off with the rewards, we have the Trailblazer Reloaded outfit. So each of the previous leagues had 3 distinct rewards that featured with each new addition: the banner, the home teleport animation, and the outfit. So we're going to be going over the latter right now, which is going to be the Fashionscape outfit for Trailblazer Reloaded. This outfit combines elements of the Shazian area of Corinne,
Very
which
cool.
is accessible in this version of Trailblazer, with the theming of this league and the symbol of rebirth itself, fire.
Fire.
So there's going to be a lot of fire element.
Oh, everything we go over as a fire element. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. So hopefully you like red.
But this outfit is like very it's giving off some huge firebender vibes from like
Yeah.
Outro the Airbender.
Honestly, a lot of this stuff gives off firebender
Yeah,
vibes.
especially
So
like the headband and stuff. It just reminds me of like whenever Ing and all of them like went to school in the firebender
yeah.
area.
So if you're a
It's
big fan
cool.
of Zuko or
You're gonna love it.
yeah. So make sure to check this outfit out if you do like fire, because again, there's 3 different versions. One is lesser red, more red, and then a very red.
The last one's the prettiest though.
Yes. So they do have slightly different colorations and variations to them, but more or less it's just you want the level 3 because it does look much more fancier.
Yeah, it's more
Unless
detailed.
you're going for like a, like
a simple little look.
yeah, like a simpleton kind of vibe.
So question 1 is should this outfit be added to League's Force reward?
Yep.
But
And
I did
then
want to pause real quick because I looked it up. I was
oh,
wrong. You're right.
okay,
Yeah.
I was pretty sure you're able to buy old rewards, which is why none of them are crazy expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was weird too. I literally thought that last leagues as well, and I was like, oh, it's kind of crazy. You can only get stuff once.
No, yeah.
But it says
League points are league points.
when leagues are finished, players may use previously earned points to purchase cosmetic rewards that can be used in the permanent game mode, and the points from all previous leagues are combined, and all the rewards from previous leagues are available.
Yeah.
So I got it wrong.
So you don't even
As
have
long as
to
you compete in the leagues eventually in your lifetime, you could buy it.
yeah, so you don't have to have competed in the first leagues. You can technically go back and buy the first league stuff if
Yeah.
you so want to. That being said, you can all the good stuff you can just buy off the GE.
Filthy mains.
Except for, I mean, I guess there are some things that are not tradable, so you might want to get those.
Hmm.
One of the things that you might be interested in is going to be a banner. Each league has had their own banner, and Trailblazer Reloaded is no different. So it's going to have the theming of the league, of course, much like the outfit above. It'll be purely cosmetic to showcase your time spent in Leagues 4. It's going to be an RS banner with a little bit of a flame. So if
Just
you
very
like,
red.
if you like fire runes, then you can pretend to be a human fire rune, I
Yeah,
guess.
one of my niece's favorite colors is red. She would love this.
No, it's not. She changed her favorite color.
God, she did. Children are like that, aren't they?
Yeah, so you don't even know your niece. You probably hate her.
All right.
Anyways,
Anyway,
something your niece
question
probably
2: should the banner be added?
something your niece probably doesn't hate is going to be the next thing.
Sick segue.
Yeah. So this is going to be, of course, the third of the 3 things we mentioned above, which is going to be the home teleport animation.
I'll definitely have to check with this 9-year-old to see her thoughts on it.
Yeah, she'll probably like it.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is pretty cool. If you want to spice things up when clicking the iconic blue circle to head home and show the world that you got to go fast, much like another speedy blue circle, then look no further than the home teleport animation. You'll be able to nav from the reward shop. This cosmetic override for the home teleport will have you speeding off into the sunset at speeds unseen by the citizens of Gilnor, whilst leaving some fiery evidence behind. So essentially what it is you're going to like line up for a sprint, run off, and then burst into flames.
The building of the sprint and running reminded me a little bit much of the quest speed running. A little bit too much like that.
Yeah.
But the bursting of flames is obviously different. So.
Yeah. So it does look pretty cool. And question 3 is if you want this added to the store.
Mm-hmm. The next untradeable item is the League's Trophy. While we don't have the concepts ready to show you just yet, you can bet your bottom dollar that Leagues 4 will be returning with those coveted trophies. I love reading their exact words because they just say these little things.
Say weird
they say
things.
little things. What better way to show your skill and dedication to the League with an untradeable trophy ranging from bronze to dragon? Trophies can be held in the offhand slot. Aside from the dragon rune adamant, which are two-handed, so your characters looks ridiculous, and I love it. And these will have a unique emote that you can access by right-clicking them. Don't want to make them part of your fashionscape? Save your hands from heavy lifting and store them in your POH via the trophy case.
Yeah, so you can flex on everyone else.
Yeah.
And flexing on everyone else, we actually do have some new rewards where
these are more of a flex to me. I love these.
You can definitely show off your prowess in the League. So with the return of the most iconic League, with a twist, of course, we thought about giving you cosmetics that would touch on some of the most iconic things in game you would use and see, whether you're just starting out or a long-time old school vet. While some of them give you the cosmetic overrides for items you would expect, we've also looked at other areas that are just as commonly used to mix up the variety of rewards offered from these leagues. So let's see what we got. The first item, the thing that Michelle's really excited about.
I'm really excited about it.
Even though you pretty much never use this.
I've been using it in TOA. I use it every TOA now.
I was about to say, even when it's actually pretty good to use.
No, I was bullied so much that I now bring the Toxic Blowpipe to TOA.
Yes, so the Toxic Blowpipe is getting its first ever ornament kit.
Yeah.
So since the release of Zulrah, the Toxic Blowpipe has been one of the most iconic ranged weapons, especially when it was nerfed into the ground.
Stop.
Not only that, but we want to change the color of the special attack projectile to fit alongside the fiery look of Trailblazer Reloaded.
Yeah, so it has some blazing themed recolors. It's red and like yellowy and orange. It looks so pretty. Looks pretty.
Yeah. So they do say, whilst we are aware that there have been player proposals around the blowpipe look before using the in-game magma mutagem and the Zulrah drops, we feel like a cosmetic variant coming from this league would make for a great start. That being said, we are keen to hear your thoughts surrounding this cosmetic variant currently proposed. I think it looks good. It is red and orange, fiery color for anyone that is guessing.
Yeah.
And like they said, if you use the special attack, it looks like a fiery, like phoenix head, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It looks really cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. I like it just because I specifically told you, I think whenever, I don't know if they proposed this. I remember us talking about it though. And I said if they ever did anything with the blowpipe, it would have to match one of the mutagens.
You did say that. And this would match the red one.
This one would match the red one. Or hopefully, right?
Yeah, it's just a totally different red.
Yeah.
Watch them miss that opportunity.
It definitely could be, but at least it would match one of them. So I'm fairly on board with this.
I feel like it'll also match. It won't match well, but it will be more matching to Missouri than the current blowpipe.
Yeah.
Not the best, but you know, there's a little bit of red there.
Yeah, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow. So kind of matching. And question 4 is if you want the ornament kit.
Yeah. Next up is the Rejuvenation Pool ornament kits. This is, I think it was Shy on Twitch's favorite thing on this entire blog. So the POH is one of the most essential things to make your time in Gilnor all the more glorious, as it offers you a wide variety of important utilities, so your adventuring is all the more satisfying. One of the best features that you can build is the Rejuvenation Pool. So if you guys don't know, it's basically just a one-stop shop, and it refills everything. It refills your health, your prayer, special, stamina, all of it. It's great. The only change that they have for this thus far is like a different variant for Christmas time, as it looks frozen. It's pretty cute though.
Yeah.
But with leagues, they want to bring this what's it called? Ornament kit.
Ornament.
Yeah,
ornament kit.
I got confused because I was reading ornate. So they're gonna bring an ornament kit to only the ornate version, just to be clear.
Yeah, only the coolest version.
Only the coolest version.
All of you prayer pool plebs will not.
You need to level up your construction, but it's just like it's like a stone fountain per usual, and it has flames coming out the top. So I'm just imagining like dipping your face in flames to heal.
Oh, okay.
They didn't say that animation, but I'm assuming that will be what happens.
Yeah. Whenever I first saw it, it reminds me a lot of
Goblet of Fire.
Well, actually, yeah, kind of. But I was actually thinking a lot of like the Olympics.
Yeah.
because they have that brazier that's like burning the whole time.
It is kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Question 5 is if you want that in the game.
Hmm.
And the next one is something I actually didn't see coming, but it's actually kind of cool looking. It's for
Yeah.
alchemy. So
Alchemy.
all of you high alchers out there, get excited because potentially it looks a little bit cooler with all of your alch agility. I'm sure you're excited to
Alchagility.
change that up. Yeah, alch agility. So some of the most iconic spells in the game are seen time and time again as players run around the world casting them alongside their adventures. Aside from teleports, one of the most iconic is alchemy. A great way to get some funds quickly without needing to go to the Grand Exchange or shop for you iron players out there.
Hmm.
And so essentially this just looks like
You have little flames on your hands, and then
yeah.
you smack them together.
Yep.
Yeah, but they use yellow, so it doesn't look like flames. I didn't realize that until I read it. It's supposed to be little flames.
Yeah. So I don't know if it'll actually look yellow, but either way, you're smashing two fires or flames together and getting gold. So
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. Question 6 is if you want that to exist.
Next up is the Vengeance animation. From the standard spellbook to Lunar, the other spell we want to give the cosmetic treatment to is Vengeance. A spell used by PvMers and PvPers alike, we'd like to give it that penance stare feeling and give the iconic red skull some beautiful hellfire to surround it, allowing you to put the fear straight into your foe's soul. So if you don't know, it's just a big red skull above your head. They're just gonna have flames coming out of the skull, and
Yeah.
I like it.
Very Ghost Rider-esque.
It is very Ghost Rider. But question 7: should they add the Vengeance rework?
Yeah.
Rework, recolor.
Recolor. So
This is actually my favorite.
yeah, I was about to say this next one is your favorite.
Yes.
So this is actually really unique.
Yeah.
They've never done anything like this before, as far as I understand.
I don't think so.
So this is the death/respawn animation. So finally, let's talk about death. Something that's common to old school players and is part of every player's journey, even hardcore Ironmans eventually. I mean, not really,
Unless they quit
unless you just
playing.
never die. There is, so you sound stupid. Anyways, there is something.
Me? Or the...
No, whoever wrote this.
I was like, that's hard.
There's plenty of hardcores that have never died. This
Yes.
is something notable about making another player sit or just knowing it's over when your player drops to their knees in defeat. Well, with this final reward, we'd like to give you a bit more of a dramatic way as your character bursts into flames, leaving their booties behind like some platforming orange marsupial. Not only that, but you'll spawn back around fire and be born again like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
Yeah.
So the animation is you dying, and instead of you folding over, like
they have you
as
lift up your
tradition-
arms, but
Yeah.
then your hands and your head catch on fire.
Yeah, so you quickly burn to ash, leaving nothing but your boots.
They are smoldering though. There's a little smoke coming up.
Yeah, and then you are reborn in fire, and you get up as if you're like the Terminator getting up from, getting teleported back.
I like it because initially it looks like it's in the little fetal position, kind of just sitting there for
Exactly.
fire.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Anyways, question
I-
8.
I really, really like it.
Yeah, anyways, question 8 is if you like this, vote for it, and we can finally get the first ever, I'm pretty sure, death and respawn
They don't say it's
animation.
the first ever, but I don't. At least from what I remember, I cannot remember a single other one of these.
Yeah.
I
Anyways,
love it.
all 8 of those questions, those are the 8 rewards you can expect to see from Trailblazer. And yeah, so they didn't, the only
They
one
didn't do
that
the shield.
they, oh, they didn't do the, was that supposed to be?
Oh, the Din's Bulwark they were talking about.
Oh.
That's what I wanted to bring up.
I
is
wasn't sure if
they
that
were
was
talking
part
about
of
it.
Poll 80 or not.
No, they were talking about maybe doing that as a cosmetic, but then they didn't mention it. What I'm assuming, I didn't see anyone's feedback, but what I was kind of thinking in the back of my mind was that if they do add an ornament kit to make it look like the Bulwark is one of Zuck's shields, they'd probably want to make that an achievement from killing Zuck.
Yeah. So they're going to have to rework the Bulwark to not suck and then make it.
Yeah. They didn't say this. This
worth
is our
getting.
thoughts.
Well, that makes sense because the only Zuck themed things in the game
Our
the
Grandmaster.
Inferno, yeah, the Inferno Cape and the Grandmaster Slayer Helm.
Honestly, that would be another good Grandmaster reward.
Yeah, but like
people
how?
only use it.
It'd probably have to be like, like speed running chambers like really fast or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
I was just thinking with the Slayer, like whenever you finish your Grandmaster, they're like, plus you get this little ornament kit.
Yeah, I don't know, because then I don't want them to pack so much stuff behind the combat achievements.
True. I want to be able to get it eventually.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they probably will just not add it, and it'll just be something we'll never get.
What else were you going to bring up? I thought you were going to rip the shield.
Oh no, I was gonna say the only thing they didn't pull was the trophies because we kind of just expect.
yeah, we
that.
always get trophies.
But everything else Feel free to poll if you do or don't like it. Honestly, I thought everything was pretty well placed. The only thing I could see potentially not passing is either Vengeance or the Blowpipe.
Why Vengeance, you think?
I think some people just like the OG Skull.
That's true. The
Yeah,
blowpipe, I could see people voting no just because they would want something more related to Zolver drops.
yeah, I could see that.
But I do like them all. What's your favorite? I already said mine.
Um, Probably the death
The
animation.
death animation is so cool.
Yeah, it's really unique, so probably
It's
that.
so unique. And
Although
if you eventually
the
die in your hardcore, at least it'll be entertaining.
I think maybe it's between that and the ornament pool
The ornament pool is
because
so
that's pretty
cool.
cool. Just having like a fire, like a brazier in your house would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really awesome. I'm
Yeah.
really excited for these rewards.
So that is it for the rewards. Make
Mhm.
sure again to vote. They do look really cool, and
It's
check
so
out the pictures if you are interested in more stuff. We do have links if you're watching this on YouTube, or
Yes.
just go to the OSRS news tab.
Cool. I've actually
And-
been with the links everywhere.
Okay.
I think.
Well, anyways, you can just go to the OSRS
Check.
news tab. And then we can move on to something that we're supposed to have every month, which is going to be poll 80.
Yeah, we're supposed to have the quality life polls every 4 to 6 weeks, but they have just finished adding this, and I think it's been more than 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's
Correct me
been
if I'm wrong.
several months.
Yeah, who knows?
Probably at least 2 months.
But yeah, poll 80 is the huge TOA changes, plus there is some extra DMM tweaks.
Yeah. So, speaking of DMM, neither of us have played.
I played it.
Oh, I haven't played.
I played
certainly
it.
haven't. I didn't
for-
promise to either.
I said I was going to, and I wanted to. I started playing it like 4 days late, played it for an hour, realized you can't really go into it late, didn't know what to do, and logged out.
You can go into it late.
I didn't know what to
You're
do.
in the lower bracket.
I know, I just felt very lost though. I spent like an
Okay.
hour like getting my magic and defense up, and then I realized I should have gotten my prayer up, and I didn't, and it was just the
Well,
whole
don't
thing.
blame that on being late. You just
Yeah.
don't know what to do.
I still have 2 weeks left if to go back though.
Anyways, there's some quick hotfix changes for DMM. So we have deployed a change for the Sigil of the Ninja. I saw a lot of people using this. Don't know what it does.
Tells
So-
you right now.
The effect for reducing the attack speed from 5 to 4 cycles when using magic now only applies to spells that are auto-cast. Manually selected spells will not be affected by the Sigil of the Ninja. Wonder what that is pertaining to.
Next, they say we've been made aware that the explosions within the path of Anakin can cause damage to your pets. Please avoid taking pets in this room as we investigate the issue.
Wow.
Whenever I was reading the notes earlier alone, I laughed and was like, "That's funny." I said it
Yeah,
out loud.
Just killing your pet.
I just talk to myself when I'm alone.
That's cool. Also, to resolve an issue in Dead Man Apocalypse, where players were using the Ring of Life effect to teleport away from situations they wouldn't otherwise be able to.
That
We've
defeats the purpose of
disabled.
DMM.
Yeah, we've fully disabled the Ring of Life in
Yeah.
DMM only.
That makes sense. And finally, the Mark of Darkness spell now correctly checks for player as having the correct rune and magic level.
Nice. So before it just would cast anyways.
Fun.
Anyways, they do say that since Dead Man Apocalypse launched last Friday, thousands of you have hit the breaches and engaged in all-out PvP carnage.
Side note, another reason why I was like, I don't even know if I want to do the DMM is none of the breaches happen when I'm live.
Yeah.
None of them happen when I'm live. And I
Yeah,
was like,
lame timing
okay.
thing. Same exact problem that Diablo 4 ran into is because their world bosses only spawn once every 6 hours.
Yeah, I only stream for 6 hours, so there is literally none that happen when I'm live.
Yeah, like me and a lot of like people that work are only at home for like, I don't know, a few hours.
Yeah, like 3 hours.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess if you really do nothing in the morning or something like that, then you're at home for like 5, maybe 6. So you'll probably be able to catch one boss if you really want to. But that just doesn't happen, especially if you have like
Yeah.
kids or something like that. That's definitely not happening.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, doesn't seem like they're gonna fix that. So kind of just an aside.
Yes. I just
Well-
wanted to complain.
While you've been busy murdering each other, we've been closely monitoring your feedback. Since there's a large cash prize attached to this game mode, we're somewhat constrained in the changes we can make, but we're committed to addressing critical issues as they appear. So today's patch brings 2 notable fixes.
Mhm.
One is going to be the Edgeville Emblem Trader, which I think they moved.
Last week.
Those of you wondering where your old friend has moved, please see him back in his usual spot north of
They
Edgeville.
moved him, and then people were like, we don't want him at the GE. So they moved
His
him.
strikingly similar friend can also be found hanging outside of the Grand Exchange, so you have the best of both worlds now.
Yeah.
On Dead Man Worlds, the Grand Exchange Emblem Trader does not let you acquire a skull. However, the Emblem Trader north of Edgeville and his colleague at the Remnant Caves will.
Okay.
And secondly, we have prices in Dead Man Apocalypse and permanent Dead Man shops.
Mhm.
Last week, somebody raised that the Emblem Trader had the point cost for items increased on the permanent Dead Man world. Oops.
Oops.
In this game, or in this week's game update, we had a word with the Emblem Trader, and the prices are back to normal.
We're not going to go to the prices. This list is so expensive.
Yeah,
Look how much you have to score right now.
Just imagine all the prices being the
Better.
price, what they should be.
Yeah, there we go.
The only thing you need to know, ornate malls, 1.25 mil. There
Huge.
you go. And note that this does not affect the Bounty Hunter Emblem Trader on regular worlds or on the Bounty Hunter world.
Cool. Some additional hotfixes. The Scythe Averter will now correctly add charges even when already partly charged. Players will no longer receive tier 1 sigils when they shouldn't. They increase the PJ timer in single-way combat areas from 12 seconds to 14.4.
Whoa, 4 whole cycles.
Yeah. And as the game progresses, we're also removing the following worlds from Dead Man Apocalypse, which is kind of a bummer because that means that maybe not that much people are playing.
Probably not. Or they've progressed.
Or they've progressed, true, because it's
likely.
all 3 to 50 and 51 to 70 brackets.
Yeah, so no more anything under level 70, or the world specifically for that.
I was like, there's probably still worlds for it, but not as much.
Yeah, so you're just gonna have to deal with it, I guess.
Yeah.
We have some changes to the Tomb of a Mascot.
This is what I'm so excited for.
The path of Atmakin. So this is the monkey path. We received a lot of feedback regarding the path of Atmakin. Particularly, you felt that the monkey business took a bit too long compared to other paths. In response, we've allowed players to clear the way faster, making the room too difficult for without making the room too difficult for less experienced players.
I know you're talking. I was like, making it more difficult.
Yeah,
what?
it's just way harder. To achieve this, we've increased both the minimum and maximum foe count for most waves, which ultimately means that players will have to clear fewer enemies before the next stage begins.
Yeah, it can be really annoying if you have one monkey left and no one else can come out until you kill a single monkey.
Yep. And it says to prevent less experienced players being overwhelmed by the simian hordes, players can now use volatile baboons to clear out other enemies with a well-timed AoE explosion.
I'm really excited about that. But this is the thing that I guess was hurting people's pets earlier.
Yep, straight
Which is pretty funny.
killing your pet.
Yeah.
In addition, shamans will no longer spawn thralls if they are poisoned or envenomed, giving everyone a bit of a break.
It means I'm gonna start using my blowpipe in that room
Yeah, or you can use your ancients if you want to do that.
to freeze them. You can't envenom. Can you envenom and poison them?
Can't you poison with ancients?
Oh, is that the shadow or whatever? No. All I use
I thought it was
is
smoke or
I only use blood and freezing.
there's 4 of them, right? Blood, freezing,
there is shadow and
and smoke.
I don't use the other two enough
I
to.
thought one of them poisoned. Let us know what. I'm not gonna look this up.
Yeah.
Let us know what the smoke one does.
I never use them. Next up is the lobby deposit box. This one is also huge. Honestly, all the TOA ones are huge. So they've added deposit pod next to the helpful spirit, which functions as a regular deposit box. Just shove your unused supplies in there and they'll go straight to the bank. So if you have a lot of extra restores like I sometimes do and have to just go and drop them on the ground, this is huge. You may also deposit and retrieve your pickaxe in the lobby, so you don't have to enter the raid to retrieve it. There's a cavity in the wall that's just right for the job. Which is funny because the other night we were raiding and Ninja was there and Ninja forgot his pickaxe in like 3 raids in a row.
There
And was
you
just
go.
using bronze.
There you go. And we have a change for Akka. Previously, Akka's in rage phase. He'd teleport to
Enraged.
a new location after a fixed number of hits. Now you have to have successful hits.
Yeah, before it was even if you didn't hit, like
Yeah.
even if you try to hit but hit for a 0, he'd be like, huh, peace.
Yeah, even if you got a bunch of zeros in a row. It's still...
Yeah.
So now they have to be successful hits. So
Cool.
that'll make it so a lot less running during the ball phase.
Mhm.
And additionally, hits from thralls no longer contribute as well, which is also really big.
That's really big.
And finally, quick change on accessibility. Last but not least, you've asked us to improve the clarity of selected invocations. We've updated their mouse over information accordingly, and it should be clear for what effect they'll have on the raid.
We always love clarification.
Yes, we do.
Some more pull 80 changes, starting on Pyramid of Plunder. We have some adjustments for the drop rate of the Pharaoh Scepter. Previously, the mummy's maths were a little off, and the drop rate for the scepter actually decreased as you progress further into the pyramid, which is just insane. Side note, insane. I don't know how it took them so long to notice.
Definitely cool.
As of today's update, your chances will now improve past room 5. As part of this change, we've also made so that the chest and sarcophagi will roll for the scepter even if you fail. Have fun treasure hunting. So the rates, now we're going to start out at 1 out of 4,200 in room 1, and room 8 will be a 1 out of 650.
Yep.
Still a lot, but...
Still a lot, but definitely
Yeah, it's from the chest and sarcophagus. So remember, you're opening up more than one in each room.
yeah, it's definitely good that it is at least getting better as you go up in rooms.
Yeah, doing what's supposed to do.
Yeah. So then we have the Arceus PvP spells.
Mhm.
So you might be wondering what that means. Me too, because I never use Arceus. We have reworked Mark of Darkness. Instead of being a debuff you cast on your target, it will now be a buff that you can cast on yourself. While you have the buff, certain spells will be empowered, just as they previously were when targeting someone with the debuff on them. So it just makes it so that you just will do the empowered spell instead of maybe not, I guess. If the person like
It seems like what I was imagining is kind of like you're pre-potting before you go.
yeah, exactly.
Rather
like,
than having to choose the target and be like, I choose you, and then do it on them.
yeah, because then you'd have to like cast it on them and then cast your spell instead of just like straight up casting your spell.
Yeah, this makes more sense for sure.
Yeah. So it does say that the bind chance of grass spells is doubled, though the duration remains the same. If your target is a player, corruption will occur twice as often. And if your target is a demon, Demon Bane skills will have an additional 25% damage, 20% accuracy, and the damage bonus is applied after any bonus damage from gear.
Strong.
Yep. While corruption has a magic requirement that's that's 20 levels
Greater
higher.
corruption has.
Greater corruption has a magic requirement that's 20 levels higher than lesser corruption. The only functional difference was the chance to apply corruption. We've doubled the prayer point drain inflicted by greater corruption to make it feel, well, greater.
That's really funny that before the spell didn't actually make a difference.
Yeah. In both lesser and greater corruption now have a 50% accuracy.
Nice.
So it's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's
But-
it, though. We
yeah.
do have some additional changes.
Yeah, so some smaller changes coming this week's update. Lava dragons can now drop in sold heads in addition to other loots. Webweaver bow now consumes 1 charge when using the special attack instead of 4. It's now possible to take multiple god capes at the same time. Enabled multi-cannons in PvP worlds wherever looting bags... Oh, they enabled multi-cannons in PvP worlds wherever looting bags cannot be used. It implemented a system for loot key broadcast in clan chat with options in the clan setting menu.
That's cool.
Increased Wilderness Achievement Diary rune awards for all tiers. Disabled random events within the Wilderness boss layers. Players will now receive a message 10 ticks before Mark of Darkness expires. A message will now appear in the chat box to indicate that players have been bound. Players will also receive a message when they unfreeze. And finally, they removed the Dragon Skill Dust from the Nightmare Zone reward shop.
Scam.
Huge change.
Yeah, massive changes.
Yeah, there's
Massive,
actually even
massive.
more changes. I don't know why they put this under a different list.
Yeah, I guess those are 80.
Oh yeah,
change-
specifically from the poll.
Yeah, poll 80 changes. But also, I think someone did show earlier that you get 200 runes from an elite Wildy diary instead of
Really?
100.
I didn't look, but that would be cool. I just remember being increased, but I never go and do it honestly because
Yeah.
I'm a main.
I'm pretty sure it's 200 now, but yeah, double check that. Still not huge.
Don't
but-
believe him.
Anyways, some other changes. Players will now be able to, or now receive the intended 15% accuracy bonus from Bounty Hunter's Ancient Kit when special attacks are performed during the minigame. When treasure is won from a POH's dungeon treasure chest, the notification message says who won it and for how much.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
The love crossbow cannot be fired in PvP areas anymore.
No, that would be fun to do it.
Thamron's Scepter and the Accursed Scepter will now correctly show 0 splashes if the wielder's magic has been drained. Upon trying to enter the mage arena, or mage training arena, free-to-play players will now be informed that you need a membership. And all Slayer Helm variants are now correctly shown as lost in the Kept on Death's interface.
Cool.
Yep. And the PvP rota is
Max
Med
Med.
for arenas.
Cool.
Yep. Pretty
Lots
cool.
of changes this week.
Yeah, a lot of changes. Been a long time coming for a few of them.
Dude,
but,
really? Also, it's kind of unfortunate it took them a year to do some of these TOA changes, but better late than never. And hopefully, whenever we have a raids for it, does not take them that long.
Yeah, better really late than never. But,
I mean, at least it's not Chambers, which is still getting quality of life like 7 years later or something like
a
that.
million years later.
35 years later.
Yeah.
Something- yeah.
But that is going to be it for poll 80. Pretty
Mhm.
exciting. Glad it's happening, but not as exciting as the next thing, potentially.
Potentially. The Scar Essent Mine.
And we're back. But before we go into the Essence Mine down below, we do have a few updates. I'm quickly going to go over the updates on the stuff that we've already covered, and then we do have a couple real life updates as well.
So the first update is actually kind of a big one. This
Dude,
is
we talked about it for like 5 minutes.
yeah.
So I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, so for anyone that didn't find out, the Trailblazer Reloaded reward has been changed slightly because they added the Denny B.
Let's go.
So the Infernal Din's Bulwark that we spent so long talking about how they weren't going to add it and maybe they should add it as like something else in the game, and then I concluded it would never be added.
You did.
Is actually being added.
Yeah, I edited it after we found out, so I was like, you sound stupid.
Yeah, so it's actually really, really cool. So
It looks amazing.
yeah, the face of Zuck himself is all red outlined and the shield is black with like a fiery
It's like smoldery.
lava cracked like bottom portion. Looks really cool.
It looks so cool. I'm voting yes on it because, okay, I still think that maybe you should have to have a KC to equip it, to be fair, because I think that some people vote no for that. But I'm voting yes anyway because I'm scared that if people vote no, they won't bring it back later. Like too many
Yeah.
things will get in the way.
Yeah, I would vote yes just because I think it looks really cool,
Mhm.
but I also agree that like
Maybe
all
you
the
should to
infernal
equip it.
No, it's just all the infernal stuff comes from like fairly tough stuff.
Mhm.
So I feel like this should be no different in that like it should come from like I don't know, something difficult, but it looks cool, so I want it in the game.
Yeah. I want it in the game. I wouldn't be mad if they made it a requirement that you have to have a Zuck KC to use it.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though I don't even have that myself.
I was like kind of elitist.
I don't even have a Zuck KC. I can't even get past wave 45, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing. Speaking of embarrassing, we have a bit of a another thing to go
A
over
DMM
for
issue.
Dead Man mode. Yeah, it's embarrassing that this exists, is what I was
Mhm.
saying. So they're aware of a game crash issue arising from selecting a task while the Like a Boss Slayer perk and the Sigil of Slaughter are both active together. So they're still investigating it. They recommend disabling Like a Boss. Hopefully they'll have a change for that soon. But
Yeah.
as
That is an
as-
issue right now, though.
yeah, as of this point, there is no change. It is
Mhm.
just an issue. But that is not the only thing we have left. There is a sailing poll results summary.
Yeah, we'll go over that after the essence mine.
Yeah,
before
we'll
the
cover
Q&A.
we'll cover that right before the Q&A. But we actually have a little bit of an update from
Yeah.
little Miss You.
Don't call me Little Miss You, Little Mr. Mouse guy.
Your shirt's inside out.
No!
All right, go ahead and tell everyone your big update.
Is it obvious? If you're not listening on YouTube, I mean, you can't tell. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, sure. No
Anyway.
one can tell.
Why would you call me out then? Why didn't you tell me after?
Yeah, so what's your update?
Man. You were talking about getting levels, so I felt inspired, and I got 2 levels.
Wow.
I got them
nice.
both today. I got 94 mining, and then I got 92 hunter because I was fairly close for both of those.
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, good job.
And the other bigger thing, I got a arcane sigil last night from Corp.
Huge.
Yeah, I did the wheel of bossing that I've been doing, and I had to go to Corp, and we went in a trio. So easy 40 mil for each of us.
40 millones.
It was on my 22nd KC. Like
Nice.
it's
Pretty
a 1 out
lucky.
of 1300 drop or something like that. I got so
Pretty
spooned.
spoonered, yeah.
Yeah, very spoon. I'm really hyped about it. And my shirt's on inside out, so that's cool.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
pretty
really
cool.
tell, it's all black.
I have an update. I got 13 more agility levels. Nah, I'm just kidding. I didn't do anything.
I was like, it's still early. I don't know if that's possible, but maybe.
No, definitely not.
Pretending to be asleep at night, just doing it.
Yeah, just like in my sleep, literally. But yeah, no more updates. But that's cool. You got
Yay.
some stuff done.
I'm excited about that.
Anyways, we do have a little bit of something to go over. That's going to be the Scar Essence Mine.
Yeah, a little bit controversial.
Potentially. I haven't looked too much into what people think about the Scar Essence Mine. I could just imagine it's controversial.
Controversial to me. I don't know how to feel about it personally.
The very few takes I've seen on it are controversial, so I just
Mhm.
assume that is generally the idea behind this.
Yeah.
So we'll get into it, and then it's pretty easy to quickly see why it might be controversial. So yeah,
Get into it.
we have the Scar Essence Mine. So the Humble Blood Rune, a sought-after catalytic rune whose consumption allows the casting of ancient magics, the swooshing of the Scythe of Viter, and whatever word begins with S suits the Sanguinesti staff. The Blood Rune has a whole
Shooting.
host. What?
Shooting. Like shooting Sanguinesti.
S suits.
I don't know. They said swooshing for scythe, shooting of the sanguinus. Like you shoot magic. I'm trying to think of a word for them.
All right, so Button Years has come under fire from players who just for just how tedious it can be to accumulate enough of these magical stones. For anyone wondering, as an Iron Man, you can't really upkeep the amount of bloods it takes in order to use the scythe. Less so for the Sanguinesti, definitely more so for the scythe.
Mm-hmm. Scythe is so much. I've had to refill mine twice this week.
Yeah. Not only that, just there's a lot of reasons, but it's just usually not worth it. And also, I guess it's nice because the scythe isn't used in a lot of places. So,
Yeah.
yeah, really no reason. Anyways, currently most players trying to upkeep their scythe or sanguinesti opt to buy them from the Grand Exchange or magic shops, competing with each other as they hop through worlds in desperate bid to stock up enough for future PVM sessions. So yeah, the fastest way to get runes as an Iron Man is to just session hop between worlds
That
and
is very boring content.
yeah, and buy runes for hours and hours. But of course, you cannot buy bloods
No, you.
in bags.
Oh, you could buy them like stacks though. Yeah.
You can buy little amounts of them before they
Yeah.
become too expensive.
That's really annoying.
Yeah, really, really annoying. So often, like Baba Yaga's shop will be, sold out, or just you won't want to buy them from there because they'll be too expensive. So that's kind of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
For a while now, we've seen effective players suggest the addition of rune packs for some of the runes that don't currently have them, such as Blood, Death, Soul, or even Astral runes. While we agree this would likely alleviate some of the frustration with upkeeping some of these runes, you'll still be competing with others, hopping through worlds, and spending more time in a shop interface than out in Gilnor. I personally don't really mind this option,
They're just the packs.
just the packs.
Okay.
We think we can do better than Blood Rune packs. After all, we have a whole skill set dedicated to crafting runes. Why don't we leverage that?
That's also a fair counterpoint.
Fair.
It is a literal skill.
They do say that they are hoping to do something similar to Drew's Sandstone Grinder. For anyone that doesn't know about that, that is a very useful Iron Man thing, essentially, where you mine sandstone and turn it into buckets of sand at Drew in the Alcarid Desert.
Oh,
For some
that's what people
GP?
do there?
Yeah, that's what you do there. That's how you get a lot of
I know
sand.
people go there. I didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, so you get a lot of sand from there, and then you'll get a lot of seaweed either from the vendors or just from doing farming runs. And that's how you level crafting usually.
Weird.
Yeah. So that is the gist of it, and they want to do something similar. So to that end, we set out to make something with the following goals in mind. So they want to allow players to obtain blood runes extremely quickly. As a bonus, expand the system to runes beyond bloods while making sure all the above goals still apply. They also want to make sure that they avoid impacting the economy for non-irons. So they want to disincentivize non-irons to go there and make a penny off of
I
this.
don't know how they're going to do that part.
Oh, easy. They definitely do that.
Okay, I'll wait in here.
And then they want to ensure that the gameplay is thematically tied to rune crafting and also that the loop itself is quick, intuitive, and easy to access. So
Okay.
pretty easy. So here comes Ventriculus, the Abyssal Extractor.
Say it 3 times fast.
Nah, I'd rather not.
I'm going to try.
Ventriculus is a part of our design to give players a fast, in italics, way to get runes. Any kind, not just blood. That's tied to gameplay and integrated with rune crafting. Before we get started, you might be wondering where we'd even put the extractor itself. Given that somebody likely would have noticed already, but luckily there's a new area. It's the Scar from Desert Treasure 2.
I was wondering why they put in the scar. I didn't read these notes. Robert did.
Yeah. So they say accessed via the rift near the Temple of the Eye. You might be familiar with Guardians of the Rift.
Mm-hmm.
The Scar has a habit of sucking in leftover runes, just sucking away, and it has a ton of stuff in there.
The scar ussy, you could even say.
You could say,
Can
unfortunately.
I keep that in the episode?
I don't know. Inside the Scar, though, these leftovers move through tissues, sinew, and synapses,
Gross.
resulting in amalgamations of runes, essence, and flesh that defy the laws of nature.
Flesh that defies the laws of nature. It sounds like they're calling someone ugly.
Yeah, that's what they call me. So
That's really sad. Are you okay?
you'll need a spot of manual labor to split them apart and extract anything useful. That's where mining comes in. So the proposed gameplay loop, they have like a little diagram here.
They have a flow chart.
Yes. So essentially you'll get the tainted essence from mining, go to the extractor, then you could choose to either turn that into pure essence, which is,
I guess,
Pure
useful
essence.
if you need it. Or the thing that it's mainly going to be used for probably is to turn it into
A type
a
of
type
rune.
of extract,
Oh yeah.
pay the GP, and then obtain the extract. So pretty simple. You're going to need 66 mining to be precise, a pickaxe, and a lot of putting your back into it, quote unquote. You'll be that's not a good quote. That's literally what they say though.
What are they doing?
You'll be able to mine tainted essence. These are the grotesque mixtures of runes, essence, and flesh that we mentioned earlier. Then you have two
Hot.
options, like I said, to make them into pure or extracts. So, by removing the wrong runic energy and compressing what's left, the extractor can provide you with extracts that are bound to specific types of runic energy. These stackable extracts function as catalysts while rune crafting, allowing you to craft significant, emphasis on significant,
Yeah. Big
bonus
emphasis.
quantities of the rune they correspond to. A spot of mining in eventual exchange for huge quantities of extra runes sounds pretty good, so what's the catch? Well, the catch is this dude, Haggis, a member of the Zamorakian Magical Institute, wound up getting lost, and he's there. He's the vendor. So,
And he's utterly unhinged.
utterly
He's
unhinged, to
wearing a
say the
brain
least.
hat.
No, he's been mutated by the scar.
Oh, I thought he was wearing a brain hat. It's a mutation.
Yeah, that's just a mutation.
Whoops.
Anyways,
Awkward.
there is a coffer there to store money because Haggis's whole goal is to get as many goodies as possible to take back with him because he still thinks he's going to go back to the regular world and he wants to bring something
Why are
good.
they adding the saddest NPC to the game? This is really dark.
Yeah.
He's just
So-
a delusional man stuck in the scar forever.
He knows everything about the scar, everything about where you are and what you need, but he wants gold in exchange. So if you are going to want to take any of these extracts out of the area, you're going to have to pay him because he knows how to actually make the extracts. Like I said, there is a coffer there, so if you plan on doing this for a while, you can put all your GP there. Alternatively, you can clean your tainted essence and stack up large quantities of pure essence, approximately 10,000 pure essence per hour. Pretty
That's
good
a
amount.
lot.
Yeah. Haggis appreciates that many of you out there grown at the sight of pure essence, following a showdown with the great Olm, or that some of you even leave behind pure essence that Zulra so graciously provides. Haggis knows that you'll be more than willing to part with GP once you process that essence into extracts. He's playing the long game. So you use tainted extracts to make, or tainted essence to make extracts, which serve as powerful catalysts for rune crafting.
Cool.
Pretty simple. They have some pretty cool art here showing you what the extracts might look like, as well as the tainted essence. Really just looks like flesh with like random
A lot of
tubes
flesh.
hanging off of it.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Really gross. But yeah, if you want to look, you can. Anyways, there's going to be 4 different types: warped, twisted, mangled, and scarred. Each of these will correlate to a different kind of extract, and they can be used with any rune, whether that be
Yeah.
rune, pure, or Dayalt essence.
Well, you should say it's 4 different groups of runes, so it's kind of like how they have elemental and catalytic.
Yeah,
And
no,
yeah.
that's what I meant by they correspond with different types of runes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will go over the different, like what they correspond to in a second.
Yes.
But yeah, so there's 4 types, and they correlate to all of the runes essentially.
Cool. Yeah, because there's some missing from Guardians of the Rift, right? Like Wrath and stuff.
Yeah. So for this one, it is pretty easy. Note that the extract catalytic effects won't work at the Oriana altar. So obviously, if
Oh.
you're doing ZMI, then it won't
No,
work
you're
there
not.
because this is specifically for targeted runes and altars only. On the face of things, it's a pretty simple system to understand. So let's get stuck into the nitty gritty. So they have actually balancing and how this will work as far as balancing goes. So this is all in theory, of course.
Yes.
So technically, I'm not going to read this first paragraph. Like I said, if you want to read the whole thing, as always,
I mean, read
go,
what they're theorizing you could get an hour.
they go over specifically how much
It's-
they expect you to get later on, which
it's
is why I'm not
nuts.
going over it. So I will just quickly jump into the extracts. So the price for extracts are all based on the current existing shop prices, with exception for Wrath runes and combination runes, since you can't actually buy those.
Yeah.
Though we've aimed to ensure that the cost per rune for these types remain higher than their well-established values in the GE. So for the 4 extracts we mentioned before, mangled, scarred, twisted, and warped, you're going to be able to get a lot of extra essence per extract.
Mm-hmm.
So for Mangled, Scarred, and Twisted, one of these will allow you to get 60 bonus runes per extract used.
For essence.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, per extract in combination with essence.
Okay.
So it's a 1-to-1. It's like so if you have an inventory of 28 slots and you have 14 extracts and 14 essences,
Oh my
then
god, that's so much extra.
you'll get 14 times 60.
Oh my god.
For the final one, which is the warped extract, these are going to be your traditional elemental ones. So air, water, mind, body. Those they'll give you 250 times. But I mean, obviously, you're gonna get those from a lot of other sources, so those aren't really as important. So essentially, it'd be 14 times 250 per inventory. That's how technically it could work. This is all just an example.
Yes.
But also as an example, the mangled extract, that one will pertain to nature, law, astral, and death.
I feel like that segue wasn't strong, to be honest, but it's okay.
I wasn't planning. I was actually not even doing a segue.
It's okay. Just continue.
Yeah. The scarred extract is going to be blood, soul, and wrath. The twisted extract is going to be mud, mist, all of the combination runes.
And cosmic and chaos.
Yes, and cosmic and chaos. So really, I don't think the last two, twisted and warped, being the elemental and combinations, really matter that much. I think people are pretty much only going to use this for
Mangled and
death,
scarred.
blood,
wrath and soul.
Wrath, soul for the Tumikin shadow and stuff like that. I don't think any of those use the chaos, but I guess
chaos is in Tumikin, so that will actually be really busted
some people
for that.
might do that for chaos if they haven't done enough barrows or something like that. So I could see some people using that. But anyways, I'm just going to go over the statistics and the prices for mangled and scarred because I feel like those are the two relevant. Those are the two that people are going to use more often. So for the mangled, which again is for nature, law, astral, and death, it's going to be 200 GP per rune.
Okay.
I'll quickly just change that over to 12,000 GP per extract.
Okay.
Because that's what it ends up costing. You're not going to pay per rune, you're going to pay per extract, which is 12,000 GP.
It's a lot.
It is kind of a lot. And scarred, which is blood, soul, and wrath, will be double that at 24,000 or 400 GP per rune, which is pretty expensive because I think that's almost twice the price of bloods.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is generally the price of it. Like I said, it is one extract per one essence at the moment. Okay. And obviously you can only bring one inventory, so I don't know how that's going to work. But
there might be a bank nearby.
For instance, they do have a quick example here.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I just see that big number.
Yeah. So they do have a quick example.
Wow.
So if you had 27 pure essence, this is the example they give, 27 pure essence and 27 scarred extracts, you'd wind up with 1,647 blood runes if you went to the true blood altar. And that is a lot of runes, 1,650 runes, quite a bit. And it would cost you 650,000 GP.
Wow.
On extracts alone. Kind of expensive. But keeping that example in mind, it's pretty easy to imagine how quickly you'll be able to stack up runes using extracts, assuming you have the GP. And if any of these numbers are, too much, obviously you can go check them out for yourself.
We'll have the links in the notes because it's always annoying saying numbers.
Yeah, I'll kind of spoiler alert you. This is really only pertaining to end game Ironmans. So if you're not an end game Ironman, you can probably just skip this part because you'll probably never interact with this content.
I mean, if you want to save money if you're thrifty.
This does not save you
no, not money. Not saving money.
This will not save you money.
If you want to save time from hopping around and don't mind spending money.
Yeah.
There we go. This does not save you money at all.
No. They do have some further estimations and clarifications saying that roughly they expect you to be able to get 25,000 extracts per hour, assuming you can keep up with the money, of course.
You're not going to be able to.
And if you did go to the True Blood altar in 1 hour using extracts, you can get anywhere between 200 to 250,000 blood runes per hour, which is a lot of blood runes.
But tell them why they're not going to be doing that most likely.
Quickly though, for anyone wondering, this does stack additively with your raiments of the eye or blood essences. So if you
Even
have
more.
those from other sources, aka the raiment from the Guardians of the Rift or the Blood Essence from wherever you want to get that from, then they do stack
Yeah.
with this effect. So that's where they're getting the 200 to 250,000 blood runes per hour. The reason, like you said, people might not actually get these is because in that 1 hour,
If you're doing the most.
this is for making the extracts purely. So if all you did was make extracts for 1 hour, got the maximum 250,000
25,000.
or 25,000,
Mhm.
sorry, then it would cost you 600 million GP.
Why do you sound like Dr. Evil?
Million GP.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that is a lot of
It's a
GP.
little bit gold.
Obviously, you don't have to do that for the full hour, but even if you did that for 15 minutes, that would still cost you 150 million GP.
Wow.
But that would still net you, I don't know, around 6,000 scarred extracts, which is probably more than you'll ever need. That's a lot.
Dude. It's well, I'll wait to see my thoughts. I'll wait
Yeah,
to say any
you
thoughts
get
I
a
have.
lot of scarred extracts really fast. So I think it might scare some people telling you the 600,000 GP or
600
600
mil.
million GP per hour, but you're not going to do this for an hour. You're probably going to do this for like 5 or I mean maybe 10 minutes if you're rich.
That's what worries me is that this is like very short term content. So I wonder if it'll be like dead on arrival. People are just gonna use it the first day and then be done.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, if you decide that you really want to stock up on like fire runes or something like that, you can expect to get 1.5 to 2 million elemental runes per hour.
If you have the money.
Obviously, if you have the money and the extracts. Any other thing, other methods like abyss rune crafting will result in somewhere from 150 to 200k. So that's an example.
Wow.
While using extracts at the Corinne blood and soul altars, it'll net you anywhere between 80 to 90k for blood and 50 to 60k for souls.
These are like unreal amounts of runes.
These are a lot of runes.
It's like hard for me to even think about having that many blood runes.
Yeah, these are all these numbers are for when you're using extracts, except for the Oh wait, no. No, yeah, all of these are for if you're using extracts.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy.
yeah, quite a lot of runes.
And I just need to keep reminding myself I'm not gonna spend that much gold on doing runes.
Yeah, quite a lot of runes. Again, this is mainly for endgame Iron Man.
Yeah, and so that in that way, like people like me won't be going and buying runes this way, so it shouldn't impact the economy supposedly.
No, because I mean, no main will do this unless you really hate money.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take longer and cost more money than any other way
Well,
of getting it.
If you're
So,
already training rune crafting, you could just be like, yeah, I really want to get like the most runes with my XP if you don't care about losing money. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way that a main would use it.
yeah, so you'd be off your rocker if you did this as a main for sure. But they do have some closing thoughts. It said, while we touched on it earlier in the blog, some of you might still be wondering why not just release blood rune packs? Kind of what I'm thinking.
You
And while we completely understand where you're coming from, we'd like to reiterate and make clear why we're not. So they say rune packs don't really solve the underlying issue, which sure kind of does make
the
sense.
world hopping, yeah.
Adding packs doesn't fix or solve Shopscape. Additionally, we have an entire skill whose sole purpose is for that, and it's being neglected. So I guess that does make sense as
Fair.
well. And ultimately, shops are probably a little too good. I don't know about that, but they've been this way for years and years, so we feel it's better to work around shops and provide a better gameplay focused alternative.
Okay.
Even though this approach is a tad more involved than making something like rune packs, it's still very light on time requirements for developers and artists. So generally, hopefully that means it'll come out sooner than later.
Yeah, it says it won't adversely impact any of the other content we've got planned in the coming weeks. So like that sounds pretty quick.
Yeah, potentially pretty quick.
But they're also supposed to have like the quality of life polls every 6 to 8.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Either way, it seems like it would come out sooner than if there was a different solution.
Yes.
So what do you think about this as a late game Iron Man?
Well, first I did want to say that you can't vote in this yet. You're gonna have a chance to vote on it in the upcoming poll alongside the League's 4 rewards poll. So you can't vote on it yet.
Yeah, this is just an idea.
It's like a conversation right now.
like a brain teaser kind of.
I don't know if it's my place to say. Like, I don't know if it's good or bad, straight up, because like I'm a main, like I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I don't really know my thoughts. I'll probably skip this question because it doesn't really pertain to me at all. Because someday, you know, like maybe I'll get there on my hardcore, but like such a long time away, I don't really think I need to be planning that far ahead on voting for stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool because it is better than just hopping around. And I mean, you'll be spending a lot of money, but you won't actually be getting this insane amounts of runes unless you have like the weirdly largest cash stack ever.
Yeah.
So I think it could be okay. It's definitely more interactive than just hopping worlds over and over again, going to shops. And I like that they're utilizing rune crafting because, like they said, it's kind of weird that the best way for people to get runes is just hopping over and over again when there's a literal skill called rune crafting.
Yeah.
But
No, it
yeah,
makes sense.
what do you feel?
Um, I don't know. I think it does make sense to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you did it for 5 minutes, I think it would cost 12 mil. I think that's how much it would cost.
I'm not doing the math, but a
Um,
lot.
but yeah, I mean,
It's expensive.
that's a lot, but also I did see someone mention, and this is a really good point, is that a lot of end game irons, you really only spend money on one thing, and that's buying runes.
Yeah, you don't. You have all this extra money that you can't really
Yeah, because that's
spend.
assuming you've already, bought all the planks for your house and stuff like that, so you
Mm-hmm.
don't need to spend money on that. Once you get to end game iron, there's really not a lot to spend money on.
Yeah, you just have money kind of sitting there.
Yeah, that being said, that is really expensive, but it does speed it up a lot. So, and the main thing is that for anyone that doesn't know how it is for late game irons, I've only looked this up obviously, so I'm not
He's definitely
100%,
not late game.
but it's like a time thing primarily
Yeah, you don't want to
for
spend time hopping around.
for getting blood runes. One, you don't want to spend time hopping around. Two, you don't want to go to the blood altar. And three is that just the amount of time it would take you to even charge your scythe isn't worth using it just that in and of itself.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
So it might be good.
if this pretty much removes the time factor, then it could be worthwhile. The only reason I'm like semi against it is for an entirely separate reason.
Oh,
And it's because this doesn't solve the fact that like runes are slowly and seemingly steadily becoming like alch value on all
yeah,
of
they're becoming
them.
way cheaper.
Like bloods are alch value as far as I
I don't
remember.
mind because I'm definitely more of a buyer when it comes to runes rather than a
Yeah.
seller, but for other people, sucks.
Yeah, and I mean that's just not ideal if
Hmm.
everything is alch value
Yeah.
just in general. Um I mean, it's not like the worst. Obviously, if you're an Iron Man, you don't care.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I don't necessarily care. It's just generally not good. And I feel like they could have used that somehow to maybe like incorporate like dumping runes into this to like potentially make it so you could make money or something like that. But if
Hmm.
you dumped in a lot of runes, I'm not exactly sure how. I haven't thought through it, but I
It's
just
just
feel
more
like
ideas.
yeah, I feel like they could have added something like that to try to remedy that situation a little
It might
bit.
just be a different issue.
I think so as well.
This is more of an iron thing. That's more of a main game thing.
Yeah, my two main problems is one, that the first one's not really a problem. Like I said, I just wish it also addressed a different problem.
Yeah.
And two is that this is like, while it is necessary for those few people, it is like giga niche.
I think a lot of people will use it actually, but they'll use it for like 2 minutes because they won't be able to afford to use it for more than 2 minutes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, which was my concern is that this is like a very short term thing. But I mean, I guess if people
Yeah.
make money, they'll come back and stuff.
No, yeah. I mean, people will continue to come back,
Hmm.
but yeah, it is weird because it's like it's a solution, but the solution is to remove like the time that you're there essentially. So it's like the quicker you're there, the better, but also only like, the people that are like essentially, I'd only imagine people that are like 18 to like, max 1800 to max will actually use this.
Yeah.
And 1800 is like pushing it in my opinion, because at that point you probably don't have max like house
Gear.
and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You probably still don't have tens of extras, millions of GP just laying around as an Iron Man. But I mean it's useful. It's just weird because it like seems like it's like good for just so few people.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't think like I said, I don't think I'm gonna actually vote on this because like it wouldn't really affect me. I'd rather people who it actually affects have
Yeah.
more of a say.
I would, I think, very slightly vote yes, because I would personally like to use this as an endgame Iron Man, and they said it wouldn't really mess with upcoming updates. So
So they
there's really
say.
not very many negatives. It's just kind of like weird.
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
It's like whenever they add stuff for max only characters, it's just like it services such a small number of players that it's like weird to even think about it.
Yeah, if you guys have any like pros or cons on this, please let us know because like I'd like to hear what other people think
Yeah,
for
there's definitely
sure.
a lot of like weird nuances in this update,
Oh,
but
definitely.
yeah, still a lot of runes. Still crazy to think about.
If you have
One
600 mil.
Yeah, 1.5 million elemental runes an hour. You could just do this for an hour and be
That's
set.
so
But
weird.
I would like to see how much extracts per hour it would cost you.
I think they said the whoops, sorry. There'd be 25,000 extracts per hour, and then the extracts equal like this many of each kind of
No,
rune.
you're reading it wrong. They're saying if you only made extracts for an hour.
Oh, they need to have better examples.
Yeah, you would have to. I mean, you could do this real quick. You could get like 1.5 million divided by like the number to
Mm-hmm.
get how many regular runes it would cost, and then those runes would be the 1-to-1 with how many extracts it would cost as well.
They need to just have like calculators on here and be like, if I have this much in that, what would it be?
All right, so I actually did the math real quick, and this is what I estimate
If it's
is going to
wrong,
cost you.
don't tell us.
Yeah, so they don't actually give this number, which I don't know why, but I simply took their estimate for how many runes per hour you'd get, divided it by the extract bonus, and then times that by the extract cost to get the approximate cost per hour. So if you did elemental runes, getting the 1.5 million elemental runes per hour, it cost you around 7.5 million per hour
Mm-hmm.
buying the extracts. And if you did the 200,000 blood runes per hour, it would only cost you actually 80 million, which is actually not that much.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, 200,000 is like as much as a lot of like end game Iron Men have.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could just spend 80 mil and get that in an hour, I think a lot of Iron Men would just do that.
True. Also, if our math's wrong, then ignore
Yeah,
all this.
I'm pretty sure that's how you would calculate it, but obviously I'm not a wiki person, so
Yeah.
take that with a grain of salt, I
I'm
guess.
definitely
But
not. He's saying all this math stuff. I'm just sitting here like scowling. I'm like, I hate math.
yeah, if that is right, then I can see that being really reasonable.
Yes.
But hopefully to not drag this on any longer, we will finish that and move on to the sailing poll results.
Yeah. So the summer summit poll has now closed, and if you guys did not hear, everything passed. That means you can look forward to Varlamore, Chambers of Zarek improvements, PVM updates, and more. Today, though, we specifically are going to be talking about the sailing poll results because there was a little bit of
Yeah.
controversy. I mean, we talked about last week. People were thinking like it was rigged and stuff and all kinds of things like that.
Yeah.
So they get into it a little bit more. So sailing is set to be one of old school's biggest content updates ever. Of course, it is the first new old school skill
The
that'd be
first
added to the
skill
game.
in like 14 years or something like that.
Yeah, 161,000 players took the time to vote on this poll too, which is crazy.
Yeah, not a record, but it is a lot.
It is a lot. So while sailing has passed with a significant majority of the votes, we understand that those of you who didn't vote yes may be disappointed with the results. We know that all of you want the game to be the best it can be, and so we'd like to emphasize that community consultation on our new skill will continue throughout development. We especially want to hear from those of you who voted no, and we're eager to hear how we can improve sailing for you. And please just give them constructive criticism. Don't just say,
Yeah, this
it's
skill
not,
sucks.
this isn't old school. Tell them why.
Yeah, exactly.
So with help of our data team, we've identified specific cohorts of players that we like to work closely with to understand their concerns. We're inviting these players to share their thoughts with us and let us know what they think about what they'd like to see to improve sailing. So the 44,000 of you who voted no are the most important voices of all. Wraith, we're talking to you. They actually wrote that.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, very specific.
Plenty of people can tell us why sailing is great, but only you can tell us what needs to change. So speak up. Let's work together to make sailing work for everyone. And in the near future, you could expect a mini roadmap on outlining the development process, which is probably going to take like 6 years.
Yeah.
if I had to
Well,
guess.
and also I wanted to mention that while this is a lot of players, 44,000, do keep in mind, and this isn't discounting the 44,000, do keep in mind that it a new skill alone only passed with 80%. So there was already a predetermined amount of no votes going into this,
Mm-hmm.
like a significant amount.
Yeah.
So 44,000 is a lot, but it was kind of expected.
Yeah.
Based on that.
So why wasn't sailing pulled separately? That's what some people were getting annoyed with, that it was like the sixth question in the summer summit.
No, honestly, the most paper thin like argument against sailing, which I don't care what you think about for or against sailing
Robert
either
didn't
way.
vote on the poll.
I didn't vote, but it's just like such a straw man weird argument where it's like, oh, they couldn't read because it was in the middle of the poll, so they just clicked yes on everything. I'm like, okay, if you can't read one sentence, like I don't like what kind of weird excuse is that?
I understand that people are annoyed. It was like kind of like in the middle of it, but at the same time, they had the whole blog out explaining all the questions, and like it's there. It says, "Should we add sailing?"
Yeah, that's like
And also, everyone in the community was talking about it.
yeah, that's like kind of the equivalent of like whenever people sign like sketchy contracts, and I'm all like, okay,
You could have read
that's
it.
kind of understandable, I guess, because contracts can be long and arduous.
This was not long.
This was one sentence.
It was like the fifth question.
And you didn't sign anything. You just clicked yes or no. It is.
Yeah.
It's not asking a lot.
I think the thinking must be like that there was people who would vote no, but they didn't know about the poll. Is what
Yeah.
I'm assuming the
They're
logic
like,
is.
I normally click yes on everything. I'm just waiting to read the single question that they're going to ask for sailing so I can click no.
Yeah, it's a interesting
I
argument.
mean, 44,000 people definitely read it just fine.
True. So they go on to talk about all of this. Our new polling system lets us greenlight multiple projects at once so their development teams can get to work much earlier. This also gives them plenty of time to get players involved in the design process, which makes a big difference. As for why sailing appeared in the middle of poll, we'd already talked a lot about sailing in the run to the Summer Summit, so we wanted to give Varlamore, our surprise reveal, the spotlight. Varlamore also had a few separate components to pull, so we felt it was better to group them all together. We're already discussing ways we can improve our polls even further, so in the future you can look forward to a number of technical improvements, including categories, descriptions, ranked choice voting, and more. We understand that some players would have preferred to see sailing pulled individually, as it may not have been immediately obvious to voters at a quick glance. In the future, we'll be asking players to voice their opinions on our style polling via survey so we can make more informed decisions moving forward. I think even if they could have pulled it alone, they could have pulled it alone and that would have been fine. I think that the way that spread like wildfire, that people knew that it was on there, like most people who cared probably heard that the poll was out.
Yeah. I mean, if you plan on voting, you voted and you found out that you needed to vote. Mm-hmm. I feel like,
and you hopefully read the question.
If you didn't care, then you just didn't vote. I don't know.
Yeah, Robert.
Yeah, like I didn't care whether it passed or not. So I didn't vote on the last one that added a new skill or this one because I just don't care.
I ended up voting yes, and what really brought me over was Floopa.
Oh yeah,
the turtle.
Little floop.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want floop. So what's next for sailing? They're actually canceling it.
Whoa, shamanism it is.
Oh my god, I wish. So as we mentioned above, that was a joke, by the way. We're planning the sailing development roadmap. This means we're also thinking about which additional topics need to be blogged, pulled, and discussed with the community. As you know, we've committed to running multiple betas that will let you get hands-on with sailing before launch. The first of these betas will arrive alongside our first sailing milestone later this year, so you won't have to wait that long to get involved. I think that if they had a beta this year, it might be rushing it a little bit. So we'll see. It better be like a baby
They're
beta.
like, just the rewards.
I know. Just tell me Floopa.
Yeah, no actual sailing.
So we're aiming to release in late 2024.
Gee.
I bet
it's a whole year from now.
I feel like spring of 2025.
It's a whole year from now, brother.
We're still early in development process, and depending on your feedback, we may need more time. Undoubtedly, we'll encounter technical dependencies too. As with any major content release, we'll be taking lots of time to adjust sailing in line with your feedback and ensure that's in line with our community's high expectations. And they go on, which I'm so glad that they did this, because a lot of people were like,
oh, yeah, this was nice.
They should do this for everything, actually. It'd be kind of interesting. I don't care, but people can be like very weird to be like, well, you should only be allowed to vote for sailing if you have like over 1,500 total level.
Yeah.
Which I get, you don't want people going on alts, but at the same time, it feels very elitist to be like, new casual players don't have a say in the game. It's like,
So they
so
do
they show the
have,
results. They show who votes for what.
yeah, they actually have some graphs showing who voted for what over time, as well as over certain dates, and also
The most important one I'd say was the total skill level groups that voted.
they do have bands of skill levels all the way from 300 to 8 or 300 to 600. If you're below that, you don't count,
Mhm.
and all the way up to 2100 plus.
Yes.
So, surprisingly, very surprisingly to me, I even told Michelle this. I was very surprised that by far the largest majority of voters were 1800 to 2100. So
Huge amount.
fairly not late game, but fairly
Like you probably
late med
play
game for
fairly
sure.
consistently.
You've played, yeah,
You played a lot.
you've played for a little while.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that's end game by any means, but you definitely are later mid game
Yeah.
for sure.
It was nearly 60,000 people in that skill category voted.
Yeah. So a lot of players. It's like not even close. It's 20,000 more than the next, which are all players over 2100.
Mhm.
So this isn't just like a conspiracy where everyone thinks like only 1200 total level players are voting. That was less than 10,000 people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the two largest categories, surprisingly, were all above 1800.
Yeah. And of those, it looks like probably around like 17 to 18,000 voted no on each of those. And it's actually like about the same on each of them, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so it definitely more end game players voted no than the 18 to 2100 players.
Yeah. More in-game proportionally voted no than any other category, of course.
Yeah.
Which is to be expected, really.
Yeah, it definitely is. Also, for anyone wondering, they do have a split down of irons versus non-irons. Over 40,000 irons did vote, with the vast majority voting yes.
Of course.
So that's pretty cool. And they do have a breakdown. We're not going to go over all of these. They have specifically telling you how many people percentage wise voted yes.
I like the percentages more because the graphs are hard to tell. One that caught my eye immediately, those above 2101 total levels were generally sitting at around 62% voting yes.
Yeah, so
over half still.
That's like sounds bad, because I mean that technically would have failed, but even then,
only if everyone over 2100 voted.
Yeah, even then, all of the, what a lot of people would call end game players, it still would have been really close to passing. 62%. I mean, that's not really close. That's not like 69. Nice, but it's definitely pretty close.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people were worried that like end game players didn't want to remax. So I think that's cool.
Yeah. One that is also like very interesting. They said they compared the results from the poll back in December. Said that delighted to see that out of all the players who voted no to a new skill back in December, 26% of those people changed their mind and voted yes to sailing. We love people who are able to change their minds and be okay with that.
So that's actually pretty interesting. So 80% of the
Humble
people,
kings.
A little over 70% of the people that voted no still voted no, which
or skipped it too,
was kind of expected.
Yeah, which I mean doesn't necessarily mean that they wouldn't want to skill now. It could just be they want something else.
Yeah,
because sailing wasn't my first choice.
I know
either.
a lot of people did, vocalize their sentiment that like they initially didn't want a new skill, but seeing how much work they put into sailing, they changed their mind. So that definitely happened to some people.
Yeah. I like when people are able to grow and change their minds, and not saying that people who still vote no are being like stubborn or anything, but I'm just thinking about like in my book last night, just people who are like stubborn and like will continue saying that even if the effort's put in and if it sounds good.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing people that are able to be convinced.
Yeah.
Even if they
peer pressured, so some would say,
in the beginning. Yeah, sure.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, Iron Man also made up 30% of this vote, and yeah, if you want to see all the graphs, I'd recommend checking them out.
Actually,
they are going to be on the blog, of course, in the notes below as well on YouTube and other stuff.
Yeah, and I checked, the notes go everywhere. I put the notes on all the descriptions for the podcast.
Nice. But that's going to be about it. They do thank all the 161,381 voters yet again, and look forward to the next phase.
Well, that's like a little bit more than how many people live in my hometown, I think. They're like, if the entire city voted on this poll. That's so weird.
Definitely a lot of people. That is more than like 4 like fully packed stadiums at like a game.
Oh my god.
So that is,
that's
a large stadium too. I guess it's 2 like Dallas stadiums. I think Dallas is like 80,000 people
I know
or
nothing
something like
about Dallas stadiums.
I don't know.
Why would you bring Texas into
I'm
this?
probably wrong because I don't watch sports ball so much anymore. But either way, a lot of people.
I love that you immediately went to sports ball as someone who doesn't watch sports.
I know, right? I've been watching a long time.
A little fun fact about Robert, real quick, is that people will like start talking to him about sports because he just looks like the straightest dude in the world and stuff, and like very sports guy. And he'll talk to them back, but he'll say the most vague statements, but like in a tone that makes it sound like he knows what he's talking about.
It's funny because this happened the other day.
He's never watched sports since I've been with him for 5 years.
I was talking with one of my coworkers about for anyone that watches. Recently, there was actually a new rule implemented in MLB.
Oh yeah, in baseball.
Yeah,
I
in
thought that our
baseball.
friend was messing with us.
No, there's a new rule as well as changes to old rules. So they're actually pretty cool. They speed up the game. So
Yeah.
I think generally a lot of people like it. Even some of the pros liked it.
He's
so.
really good at pretending to sound like he's interested in sports when he is not
No,
interested in sports.
I don't care even a little bit.
It's really funny. You
But
know
yeah.
just enough to get by in the conversations without making it obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we've been together 5 years and I've never seen you watch any sports game ever.
I only watch when she's asleep.
That'd be really weird.
But that's gonna be about it. That's gonna wrap it up for all of the notes for this week. There was a lot to talk about, a lot of numbers, I know. So as always,
Yeah, sorry.
check out the notes if you're really interested,
Mhm.
or just sit back and this is all the news you need
Yeah.
potentially. That's kind of how we hope to make it. But anyways, we can jump into the questions of
The
this
Q&A.
week. Yeah, so pretty exciting. If you
Yeah.
want to get into the questions, make sure to drop them anywhere. We'll list at the end of the podcast.
So we have 2 in real life and 2 RuneScape. We'll start out with RuneScape. So Matt over on Instagram has now moved to Discord. So Matt from Discord
Whoa,
asked.
crazy.
Wait, pause for a second because I did think this was really funny. Is that, to be fair, in our mod's defense, this may have sounded sus, but Matt came over and was like, "Oh, it's me. I've come from like Instagram and stuff." But like, I talked to Matt many times like about the questions. I was like, "Oh, sick, welcome." But Ninja, one of our mods, like, I guess to him it sounded sus to be like, "Hey, I saw you on Instagram and now I'm here." So he like messaged in the mod chat and was like, "Do we know who this is?"
Yeah.
And like in hindsight, I'm like, "Yeah, that would sound weird if you don't know."
Yeah, but no.
I thought it was funny.
Matt
so,
is Matt.
Yeah, Matt's Matt. So Matt from Discord asked, with sailing being introduced to the game, do you think the aquarium POH room, which currently is in RuneScape 3, should be introduced? And here is it for you to see, Robert. Just looks like there's a little, it's the middle of the room, I'm assuming is like submarine-esque kind of, because you could go into the tank and dive in it,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. I think it'd be cute. It'd just be like a cute little trophy room. So I think it'd be fun.
No.
Okay. Is there a reason?
Yeah, they already have. I'm pretty sure they already have like one of these on the boat.
Oh yeah, if it's on the boat, then that's fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they literally. I think they specifically said they would have like a fish room, like a trophy room, or like a underwater room. I forgot how they said it.
I don't
but
remember, but that'd be dope.
I think they said they would have something like this attached to the boat in some way. Like
That'd be fun.
I don't know if it's literally attached to the boat or it's an unlock through the boat, whatever.
It's making me think of Subnautica, and I want to play Subnautica now.
But yeah, I think this is already kind of something that's happening with sailing, so I'll just leave it to sailing.
Okay. Hariger then asked.
Also, it doesn't make sense in the home.
Anyway, what would your thoughts be on more games in the game room? My initial answer to this, without clarification, is we don't need any more games in the game room because no one uses it. But let me get into it more. So, what about a board game that allows you and other players to play RuneScape themed board games, like how you could play mini video games in your house in Animal Crossing? For example, they could bring back Armies of Gilnor or maybe do some sort of trivia game. I think stuff like it could be fun. I wasn't thinking of Animal Crossing. I was thinking of Club Penguin. Once you mentioned that, Club Penguin actually had fun mini games. The little games that we have right now are not very fun. That could be cool. I just worry that people wouldn't play it because there's so much other stuff to do in the game. I think to make people want to play it, it would have to have something like collection log stuff or something, you know? Just like you earn points and you like buy a shirt and it goes in the collection log. I think if there's that'd be the only way to get people to actively play it.
I think well, one, it's like, do I think more games should be added to the game room? That's not really like something I'm interested in. It's more like I think that is kind of like an effort in futility, if you will. Like the games aren't being played because it's not that they're like disinteresting. I'm sure some of them are fun. I haven't played all of them, but I'm sure some of them
There's
are
just more
cool.
fun stuff to do.
But the thing is that there's like no reason to do them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You'd have to have like something in the collection log. Cause like Trouble Brewing, everyone hates that mini game. I'm gonna do that mini game eventually for the collection log.
Gross.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking that you actually make the games interesting. And you know what that means? GP.
True.
So if you could bet like up to 10 mil on a game, you're like, I'll beat you in like RuneScape Snakes and Ladders, then people would be playing stupid snakes and ladders because they'd want to win 7 mil against their friend.
True. Wait, this would be like the new DMing.
Yeah, this would be deathmatching.
This would be the new
Deathmatching is
deathmatching.
already in the game. Anyone that thinks that gambling isn't in this game is blind.
Just add in the games room.
Like the only good thing about them getting rid of the sand casino is that there's not as many like blatant scammers, I guess,
The
because
scammers are gonna stay scamming anywhere.
yeah, exactly. They'll still try it, but I mean, I guess it seems like it's less so
Mhm.
potentially in death matching because that's all trust based, more or less.
Yeah. So it's not
And
Jagex's fault if something goes wrong.
yeah, exactly. Where it's like,
Not liability.
I mean, honestly, I don't really care if people are gambling and stuff like that. The game's already like really corrupt, and there's no
Mhm.
chance that you're gonna get rid of that. So this won't really play into it. It's like not a huge amount of money, 10 million GP, or whatever the number ends up being.
Set of backs to it.
And then you could actually like that's an actual amount of money where you're like, oh, I bet you that I'll or are you trying to you know
That'd be fun because it wouldn't be as RNG as death matching.
exactly
You actually like
it's
compete
semi
in,
skill based.
do a little chess tournament.
You'd be like, yo, you trying to catch this smoke on like checkers or
I know, yeah.
something?
I love
It's like
checkers.
I'll play for 5 mil or whatever it is.
That'd be
It's
kind of
like,
fun.
yeah, that would be kind of
To
interesting.
be fair, you might be able to already bet money. We just don't know. I never go there.
Yeah.
I have no
Or
idea.
I think it'd be even cooler if you could implement like an Iron Man version as well, where Iron Man could bet items of value up to 10 mil and they're not traded at the end, they just disappear.
Oh, if you said traded, I was gonna say people could cheat, but if they disappeared,
Obviously.
that'd be funny.
Yeah, they're all like,
That would
oh
be
dude,
funny.
I'll bet you my ferocious gloves that
Like bye gloves.
that I'm gonna beat you in chess, and you lose, they're gone.
No one even gets it. That'd be funny.
That would be cool.
That'd be pretty funny.
Like if they added that for each game, people would be like, yo, I suck at checkers, but I'll catch you at like the Falador game room because they have this one game that I'm really good at.
Yeah. Yeah, they just need to have incentive to go.
Or
Because
it's
right now
not
they're.
Falador, it's Berthorpe, right?
Yeah, you said Felder. I was
Yeah.
just letting it go. They need to have incentive for people to do it. Right now, there's no incentive to go and play games.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather just go raid and make money.
Yeah. Like there's more incentive to go like, I don't know, shearing sheep or something.
True. At least
So-
you could get skilling.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, moving on to some in real life questions. We will just start with Hargers because it's relevant. What is your favorite board game? Mine is Chinese checkers.
Okay.
What's yours?
I don't.
I'll just say any
really
games. It doesn't necessarily have to be a board
have-
game.
Well, any game.
Well, I was gonna say Uno.
Oh,
like
so
card
like card
game.
Okay, not online.
I would say
game.
like family night games.
Yeah, it's funny because me and the Discord
The
boys,
boys.
we were talking about the game of life. You ever played it?
Oh my god, I loved that.
That game is so depressing.
It is really depressing though.
It's also so realistic. It's like you roll well. It's like, dang, you're a doctor. That's crazy. And then like your brother's got like he's a teacher or something,
And then
he's
he
got
dies.
5 kids and he can't make rent. It's like, damn,
It
man.
is a realistic
That
game.
is so realistic.
I played an online version of Life whenever I was a kid, and I remember it was so much fun.
Yeah. I think
Wait,
a pretty
dark.
fun game. I think Yahtzee's like a classic.
Oh, I love Yahtzee. We played that at my grandma's house, and that was
Yeah,
fun.
Yahtzee's a classic. I mean, there's
I was getting
the,
competitive with my grandma. It was really funny.
I
She's
mean,
like
like
80.
a really simple game you can play with kids. Hungry Hippos. That's a good game.
Hungry Hippo's cool because you actually get moving.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. That's kind of cool.
Stuff like Sorry, I used to really like, but now I think back in all you do is just roll dice and move. Like there's no,
Yeah.
you don't do anything in it. Like in Yahtzee, you have to think about like what you want to use your stuff on. Hungry Hippos, like you're being active trying to get them.
Yeah.
You're shaking the whole board. Yeah. Uno I like just because Uno we play sometimes. It's fun.
Honestly, my current favorite one is probably the one that we played at my friend's house.
Mhm.
That wooden one
Oh.
where you flick the coins.
I vaguely remember.
Yeah, so essentially,
Dude, our friend they have a bajillion board games.
yeah, that's like something they're into.
Yeah, they're really into board games, and they have
Yeah.
some weird one. I liked the pirate one.
Yeah, the sailor one. Yeah, I was gonna say the pirate one's funny.
You could say yours first, and then I'll.
Yeah, so his game is like it's like an older style,
look up
really
what it's
simple
called.
game, and essentially you get like what look like checker or like poker sized chips, and you flick them into like the middle of what looks like a like larger than normal dartboard, but it's
Yeah.
all made out of wood, and so the chips slide on it, and so it's pretty cool. It's pretty simple, but like you're flicking it, and there's like little pins that can like knock back your chips, so you have to be like fairly accurate. Other people can knock you off, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty simple game, but I like it just because probably because it's simple.
It was really fun though,
Yeah,
actually.
it was really fun.
I don't remember what the name of this game is called. I can't quite figure it out, but it was so much fun. Actually, I would like to have this be my favorite because we were dying laughing.
It was
at
very
it.
funny.
Everyone in the group got a card, and everyone is. I know that there was some pirate thing too, but I don't know if that was just our round. So I'll just say, let's just say we're all sailors, and there was like one pirate. We all know what we're supposed to draw, except for one person doesn't.
Yeah,
But you want to kind of like BS your way to the end and pretend that you know.
exactly. So you want to draw, you have to draw one line.
Yeah, one line at a time in this drawing, and everyone's slowly drawing the same thing. But you can like all like guess and be like, oh,
Yeah.
this person doesn't know what we're
You're
drawing.
like, oh, this is a fish. Like it's supposed to be a fish, but this person drew like a line that just went the wrong way.
Which is exactly what happened. We found out who the liar was because I think we were drawing a mermaid.
Yeah.
And we were just drawing like its body, and then there's just a line shooting out the side, and we're like, okay, well, Marlon's the liar here. He tried to hide it. He was like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're
That
drawing a person.
game was hilarious because you have to be good at lying and you have to be good at
Yeah.
like lie drawing.
It was just like a line shooting out from the stomach of a mermaid, and we're like, okay, what is this?
Yeah, exactly.
That was a really fun game. I don't know what it's called though, but
Yeah.
look it up and I'd recommend it.
I don't know, probably like walk the plank or something.
Yeah, it's a really fun game though.
Yeah, pretty fun.
Our next in real life question was from Matt, also related to Matt's question earlier about the sailing and stuff. What's your favorite fish? Mine is the giant oceanic manta ray, which hence the name is giant. It can be 6,500 pounds and 30 feet long, which is crazy. I didn't even know that existed.
Pretty cool.
Harger also responded that my favorite is probably the jellyfish. Kind of generic, but so weird to watch. It has no brain, but rather just a detailed nervous system, and it looks like an alien. I would like to second that jellyfish are so cool, and I love watching them.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I think they're one of the most fun things to watch at aquariums.
They're pretty deadly.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking out they're cool.
Yeah.
I like fish with weird faces, you know, the ones that just have like lips that are like, oh. Like, I think those ones are cute. They
Okay.
just look like a guy staring at you, they're like, oh. And you're just like, oh, hello. And he's like, oh. Like, just swimming.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of fish that is. I like those, and I like jellyfish, and I love seahorses.
Yeah.
Because they just like sit there with their little tails wrapped around, and they're just like swaying in the water.
Okay.
The dragon seahorse. Wait, what's it called? The dragonfly horse?
Sure. I know what you're talking about. I don't know what
The
it's
one of
called.
the fluttery seahorses, but like fluttery.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. They're so pretty. I want to get a tattoo of those.
Okay.
What's your favorite fish?
I'm
A salmon.
pretty simple, but honestly, probably a great white. I've always thought they're really cool. They're just really cool, and also like
You
watching.
can't answer sharks. That's basic. I always said
watching,
whale shark.
okay, I have another one because I knew you were gonna say
Fine,
that.
well, tell me your great white.
But
Thing,
yeah,
though.
I like watching great whites. Like I like watching just sharks in general. Hunting is like cool because it's like scary cool because it's
Mhm.
like it'll just be like an open.
It makes me feel nervous thinking about it, but it is cool.
It'll just be like an open ocean of blue, and then it feels like it's just there.
Yeah,
goes
how
from
great
being-
whites too? They go from under you, right, and grab their prey.
Even
They
then,
shoot from down up.
even when it's not attacking, just like when it appears, it just feels like it's not there, and then
It
oh,
appears.
there's a like 12-foot long great white shark.
I just
right
like
there.
flinched whenever you said that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Like I've seen
I'm scared of the
videos,
ocean.
like plenty of videos where it's like there's seemingly nothing,
was-
and then a gigantic shark.
We never go in the ocean. We only really have swam in Hawaii because the water's clear, so I don't mind. And whenever we were in Hawaii, both times we went to Hawaii, I was always so afraid I was going to turn on. There's going to be a shark there.
Yeah,
It's
It's-
scary.
it's fortunate those waters are too warm for great whites, but
Yeah.
they're just warm enough for tigers.
Yeah, I was like, for like
which,
the other dangerous ones.
I'm pretty sure tigers, and they
punch 'em in
are
the nose.
they're more aggressive than
Oh,
great whites,
God.
from what I understand, and they are also substantially large.
As scary as sharks are, reminder that sharks don't want to hurt you. If they bite you, it is usually by accident.
Yeah, tell that to my missing leg.
You don't have a missing leg.
I could.
If a shark had bit it off, I could.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay.
Okay, what's your other fish?
And my other one?
Yeah, because if I knew we were saying sharks, I could have said whale. I could have said a goblin shark. They're so
You
goofy.
like goblin sharks?
They look funny, man.
They look stupid.
Yeah, and I love it.
Okay.
Hammerheads are cool too.
Hammerheads are cool.
Like, why are they shaped like that? No one knows. I
Yeah,
think we do know.
because they're
but-
hammering.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their dads were carpenters.
Why not their moms? Because you hate women.
Because their moms were fish.
Is,
Duh.
is
You
she
sound-
stupid or something?
Yikes. Yeah, she needs a lesson on Shark Week. Anyways, my other favorite fish is like not a specific one. It's more nondescript, just like a genre of fish,
Like the
if you
weird
will.
face one, like I said.
Yeah, but like I like the really small, like colorful fish.
Oh, I love they're like tropical, colorful little
Yeah,
guys.
kinda
They're
like-
zooming around.
Like I like it when they're floating around. They're just like an inch long, and they're like, deep blue, like
Yeah.
just like
For no reason.
like
It's just
crazy
like, why
looking
are you that
colors.
color? And just
Or
like,
it'll be going around, just looks like peach.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love it.
Just looks crazy.
Yeah, they're so colorful. They have no reason for it, but they just are.
Yeah, kind of like clownfish-esque. Like those guys are really small.
You like Nemo?
They're a lot smaller than you would think in the movie.
They are tiny little guys.
Yeah, they're very, very small.
We should go to an aquarium soon. My goodness, I love aquariums.
Yeah. But I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. The fish question made me the most excited of anything.
Okay, yeah, all the other questions sucked.
No, even like the bulwark,
No, just kidding.
even the bulwark reward was nothing compared to talking about fishes.
Oh, okay.
And everyone's
Well,
not like fish.
let us know what you think about the bulwark reward
Mhm.
and
And your favorite fish.
and your favorite
And
fish.
favorite board game.
And again, one last time, if you do have any questions like these, real or otherwise, let us know in discord.gg/Bunebape in the
Mhm.
questions section, or just anywhere in any of our social medias.
Yeah, so our TikTok and Twitter, both Bunebapeosrs. Our Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube are all Bunebape. You can just ask us anywhere, just say, hello, podcast question. And there you go.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
And feel free to check out Michelle on Twitch
Yeah.
5 days a week.
Mhm.
And
Twitch.tv/Bunebape.
Yep. So thanks again for listening.
Yeah.
Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all.
Very soon. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.